Oda, Oda, Oda. You already know the vibe. You already know the vibe. You are live and you are in the zone with Lucky and I. Shout out to everybody that was a part of the finals the other day. It was a good first game, game one. Tell us who you think is gonna win. Tell us what you think. We are thinking about doing a room on as well on my Facebook page where everybody can come in and talk about sports if you know about sports and different things like that. Get into it, man. That's the type of vibe and it's the type of energy that we're bringing here on Uda Block Sports. You already know. Lucky Luck, what's the vibes?
Nothing but just trying to go over game two and the stats and what's going on. You Suns had a big win. Paul
Big
came
win.
out, showed his ass. You know what I'm saying? Paul came through, showed his ass, had a great game, 32 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, only 2 turnovers, 1 steal. So he really showed and proved like he really wanted to win this chip. But had a somewhat of a decent game. He was 1 from 8 from 3, so that's kind of concerning. Only 6 assists, he had 3 turnovers. I know you like the Suns, but today I really feel good about them Bucks. If you're a fantasy player on FanDuel and DraftKings, they got big tickets today. One for 25 and one for 9. Both are 100 grand large for the number one winner. You get to pick 6 players, and one is optional as MVP on DraftKings, and on FanDuel you get to pick 5 players, and you have an MVP, a star, and then you'll have I think like a co-star or whatever. So those are the formats and how it's going down. Greek Freak is the highest paid player on each site. So they projected him to have a huge game. He only had 20 and 17 with 4 assists, 3 turnovers. He had 2 steals, but he also had 5 fouls. So we both feel like Greek Freak is going to come back with a vengeance. He's going to take more than 11 shots. He was 6 for 11. So
Yes.
he took 11 shots. So I'm looking for him to get it up to at least 20 shots. So if he's getting 20 shots, somebody's shot total is going down. I think Middleton's shot total is going to be roughly around 20.
They lose. They lose
Well,
if that happens.
he had 26 shots.
Yeah, they're gonna lose if that happens. I think Middleton is their bread and butter. Middleton has to take the predominant most of the shots. Besides like Holiday, I don't want Giannis. I'm not saying that I want Giannis to win. Like I said, I want Phoenix to win the series. But what I want from Giannis, you know what I mean? Because none of these teams are my specific team. But what I would like from Giannis is for Giannis to be just a little bit more aggressive, not as tentative on offense. I seen that he was trying to get his people in the rhythm and all of that. That's cool. But some shots he was not taking and looked like the injury was on his mind. Regular shots that was close to the basket that Giannis usually just goes up with. And when we was watching that last series, when he was just coming down the lane and just like elbowing, coming through and just throwing the ball like literally in the hoop, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I think I look forward to him having like 30 points because he had an easy, calm 20. And his game didn't even look like he scored 20, literally. But you know the man is going to score. But
Yeah,
I think
he only took 11 shots. So
yeah,
that's definitely going to change. I mean, Holiday only had 10 points. He was 4 for 14, 0 for 4 from 3-point. He had 7, and he had 9 helpers. He had 9 assists, but he did have 3 turnovers. I think the refs is going to call a tighter game. They're going to call more fouls for Milwaukee. So watch that. I'm telling you, watch that because Giannis having 5 fouls is almost one more you have to game. Connaughton had 4. Everybody was in somewhat of a foul trouble type situation. They was in a penalty early. Holiday is not going to shoot 4 for 14 and 0 for 4 from 3-point line. That's not happening. I think Middleton is going to bring back his shots. It's going to be more of a team effort. I think all of them going to get around 20 shots up. So that's good for Milwaukee. I don't know what they're going to do with Lopez in that pick and roll and Porter's in that pick and roll situation with Chris Paul. That's something that I don't think they should overreact to, but it has to have a concerning factor because they couldn't do anything with Chris Paul with that 1-5 pick and roll setting with Chris, whoever's guarding Ayton, come set the pick. So you might see Greek Freak on Ayton when they go to a smaller lineup, having Greek Freak at the 5, having Middleton at the 4. Maybe they put Tucker at the 4, depending on how they feeling. But Tucker might be at the 4, Middleton at the 3, Holiday and Connaughton because Connaughton had 28 minutes off the bench. And he was in foul trouble, but he's kind of like this small ball guy. Surge on the Phoenix end, he tore his ACL. So I don't know how that's going to affect their rotation coming off the bench, but they keep a tight bench anyway. They only have Payne, Johnson, and Craig. So Craig might get the nod to be the big man coming off the bench. But a guy that we've been talking about throughout his players with Phoenix Suns is Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder, 32 minutes, and he has 1 point.
Yeah, that man was shooting up bricks all day. He's the person that, if it was anybody that's supposed to throw the game for them, it was him, son. Jay Crowder, bro. The man was stinking.
0 for 8.
0 for 8. You know,
0
every
for 5.
It had to be.
0 for
Every
5
shot
from
I
3. 0 for 5. 0 for 5 from 3. 0 for 8 from the field. He had 1 point. He had 2 turnovers. Did have 9 rebounds. And he had 1 block. I don't think he's going to have a game like that again. And a lot of people are going to be sleeping on him on a fantasy end as well, because he's getting 32 minutes. So if he's getting 32 minutes, I don't think he's going to score more than 1. I think he's going around 10 points or something like that. But he's going to have a better play. Great. He had 14 points. We both like Cam. We think Cam is a promising young player. I don't know if he's a star, but he's a promising young player. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but 2 steals. But the defense that he played on Giannis, I felt was probably the best out of all of the defenders that was guarding Giannis. And this is a man that comes off the bench. So he had 20 minutes. He might get an uptick from 20 to 25, depending on how Bridges or Crowder play. But Craig is going to get more than 15 minutes. I think he's going to be in the game roughly around 20. And, Payne and Paul, depending on how Paul's feeling and how Payne is doing. Payne got 16 minutes. Paul played 37. I think they bring that from 37 probably to around 30, 32 with Chris, depending on the game. Payne will get a little bit more run. But they need something coming from that 4 spot with Crowder. So I don't know what they're going to do, but the refs are going to be calling a lot of fouls for Milwaukee, because Greek is going to be one more game better. His leg is going to be better. He's going to be more aggressive. So he's not going to take 11 shots. He's going to get it up to more to 20. I would like for him to even get to 25. That would be a great ceiling for him. But yeah, it's a game I feel like Milwaukee can take, because Giannis is going to be that much better. And Holiday, I think Holiday is going to have a better game. So
yeah, definitely. I actually know that Holiday is going to have a better game. Holiday is really good. And he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. That's the first thing first, because he's most definitely been like an anchor, and he's one of those players that has been keeping it rocking. So while Middleton is getting it together and trying to figure out what is he doing out there, he's been keeping the glue out there. You know what I'm saying? So he's one of those glue players out there for him. Will he have a bigger game? Yeah, what you said?
Holiday's one of those players. Holiday's one of those players that'd be flirting with triple doubles, and he's a great defender, which was surprising on that pick and roll play that they were switching off. I don't look for them to switch off this game too. I think they watched the tape and they knew, okay, Chris wants to get to either content when he's in the game. So if they go small and they take Lopez out, all right. Lopez has 17 points. He shot 50% from the field. He was 7 for 14, 3 for 5. Beautiful. 3 from 5 from 3-point. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He's not a big he's not a big rebounder. The guy that really just dominated the boards besides Giannis was Ayton. I think Ayton doesn't get enough credit for his mobility around the rim. He's just a guy that stands under the rim to get rebounds. The guy's very mobile, he's young, so he's running up and down the court. So I definitely feel like if they take a Lopez out, right, Lopez can guard Ayton, but it's something about that pick and roll that messes everything up. So with Holiday going under or over the screen, he has to fight through the screen and stay with Paul, because Paul wants to get that matchup with bigs on him and then his big man on the smalls. So Chris Paul is kind of like navigating his game perfectly. So they have to disrupt Chris Paul cadence and how he wants to get to his spots, because they have to look at the other tape. How the Clippers was taking him off the edge free throw shot. He wants to get to that point on the court, just like we talked about Michael Jordan when he get to the bullhead. Like, these guys know their spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these guys know their spots. So it's one of those things, and it's like Chris Paul is just dominating his game.
And this is what I'm saying. I don't think that there's no answers for Chris Paul right now. That's first thing first. I haven't seen. Besides, Middleton was looking like he was trying to fight back. You know what I mean? He was like the only person out of the team that had that fight that I'm talking about. When you're talking about fight, I'm talking about Spartan 100. I'm talking about the fight. Who got the damn fight in them? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're getting your ass bust out there, man, you're looking for someone, anybody but a dead body to come up and give you some damn scoring off the bench. You're looking for someone, anyone to be that spark put for you. You know what I'm saying? Not just the star players.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
absolutely. I mean,
that Chris Paul
yeah,
is not only in the series, man, in last series and all these series working up and leading up into this one, but I think that he got it going on all cylinders. And I think that he's really inspiring the team. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think nothing. I don't see nothing stopping that right now. That's what I don't see. The inspiration.
Chris,
You know what I'm saying?
Chris is not going to take 29 shots. This is not. I would be very surprised if he takes 29 shots tonight, because that's out of his. He really is more of a facilitator. So him taking 29 shots was very surprising, especially when he didn't score a point in the first quarter. So he basically seen how they was playing him and then took a 29 shots for Chris Paul. He led all players in the game. He took the most shots of the whole game. I got to look at a stat where Chris Paul led in field goal attempts in the whole game on each player. Like that's surprising. Him taking 29 shots. Wow.
Took over and was making them. Was making them shit. I'm not gonna hold you.
He made 12 or 29. So he pitched. He's like we talked about him being a great pitcher. Yeah, him being like a great pitcher. So he was pitching a shutout. He definitely had them on the heels. And they ain't know how to guard that pick and roll. They have to change that pick and roll defense if they want to win the game. And I think they will. I think Holiday is going to put clamps on a lot of that. Now, I'm not saying he's going to lock them down. He's going to have, but Chris is not going for 32 tonight. And if he do, it's going to be a bad efficiency day. So
I don't think so. I think he's going for another 30 on him.
Another 30? Come on.
Guaranteed. Another 30, bro.
Oh,
let me show you something, bro. This is how you do that. This is the times when you elevate your game, son. Okay, some people have that ability. All right, Chris Paul is one of those players. He's missed fourth quarter. He was missed the fourth quarter before LeBron James was ever known. He didn't even know missed the fourth quarter, LeBron James. When it comes to fourth quarter shots and people that made more clutch jump shots, Chris Paul has made more than LeBron James. Point blank period. He's missed the fourth quarter.
Ability. He does.
He has
that ability. I would be lying if I said, "Yo, Chris don't have that ability."
Got that, bro.
Do he have the willingness to do it in night out like that killer instant? Like Michael taking 29, 30 shots like we talked about.
That when he took 29 jump shots, that goes to show you what the feeling is. He made 12 or 29, but that goes to show you what a man's thinking to take 29 jump shots after not scoring anything in the first quarter, bro. That goes to show you what the man is thinking.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I like seeing Chris play like this. It's just like so far in between. You don't get to see this type of aggressive Chris Paul like this. This is kind of reminiscent of when he was in high school, like how aggressive he's been. Mm-hmm. I was very surprising to see him shoot 29 times. He went 4 for 7 from 3-point. He had 4 rebounds, 9 assists. And he's very low on his turnovers, only 2 turnovers. So that's, 9 or 2. That's always great. He's always great with that. 1 steal. I just can't. I haven't seen this type of Chris before, so it's kind of like new to me. So 32, like really? I mean, he killed people with 38, 30. He's been doing it the whole place, but every time I see it, I still be feeling like, nah, this is not this is not him. I don't know. I can't believe in Chris going these heavy buckets on people. It's just like, wow, he's doing this right now. I mean, he did it to the Nuggets. He did it to LA. I don't know why I just can't grasp and think like, yeah, Chris gonna keep on being aggressive. He gonna keep on putting buckets on their head top. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, it's very surprising. But Booker is 1 for 8 from 3 points, so they know how to play off each other. But Booker gonna stay kind of cold from outside. I don't know. Like he shot 8 for 21. The one knows is really about he's forcing his will down low because Ayton is he had 22 and 19. That's like historic numbers for his first time appearing in a
Supposed to have 20.
finals.
He's supposed to have 20, but Chris Paul's ripped the last little rebound from him. So, you seen Booker beefing with Paul about the last rebound that he snapped.
Yeah, about the rebound. Yeah. That's when you know it's all good.
Yeah, it's
That's
all
when
good.
you know it's all to the good. But I don't even know why Crowder mad at anybody. He had 1 point. He should be mad at his damn self. But if they would have lost this game, then things like that can be examined more in detail. But being that they won, it's like, okay, I had a bad game. I contributed with 9 rebounds, but this is not going to cut it this game. So I look for Crowder to do something other than brick shots. But who is that going to take away from? Because losing Serge with that ACL, that's Ayton's replacement. So who's going to come in when Ayton needs a breather? It's going to have to be, they're going to have to go small ball. It's going to be Craig or Cam. One of them is going to have to come in and play. So we're going to see this rotation. This is the best thing about the NBA basketball game is the coaching. It's really like, who's playing chess and who's playing checkers. These moving pieces, who they going to play. I don't know if Bobby Portis can get in the game now because the way Chris Paul is playing it, he's abusing Portis. He's abusing Lopez. So you kind of got to take these guys out the game and go small instead of having Lopez or Portis on Paul. You have Giannis on Paul. But see, Chris Paul don't want that matchup. So whoever Connaughton is guarding, he likes to do that. So that's going to be like a small on small. So
what I will mention is that Craig looked like he got a little injured at one point during the game as well. I like Craig. I like his intensity. I like what his role he's been playing on defense. He's a very, very scrappy player. But I don't know how severe or how it was because he still ended up playing throughout the game. But at one point, it looked like he got a little injured. So hopefully he still got that same bounce that he's been having in his game from last series to this one.
Yeah, Craig is going to get a ring regardless. He played for both teams in the beginning of the year. So whoever wins, Craig will have an NBA championship ring, which is kind of unique in itself. Like you normally don't have that. I think Varejao had to when he was with the Golden State Warriors and he played for the Cavs. And that year where whoever won, I think he actually lost the series and then got a ring anyway. So I'm pretty sure Craig wants to win it. And now he's pushed into a bigger role now because Serge is out. Serge, whatever his name is. Yeah. So he's out of the game. So he's more than capable to doing this thing. He's a good scrappy player. It's really gonna come down to if Cam. I think Cam Johnson on the Phoenix Suns side, if he could continue to play how he's been playing his stellar play, they have a good chance of winning it because they need somebody coming off that bench. I mean, Cameron Payne, he's going to give Chris Paul the breather that he needs, but it's clear to see that Chris Paul don't need a lot of time out the game. Chris Paul is being super aggressive, and you want to keep him in the game. Maybe they might play Chris Paul and Cam together, trying to get, have Chris Paul off the ball somewhat, but it's really Cam for me. And then on the Milwaukee side, I really believe Connaughton. There's something about Connaughton I feel like he brings a different dimension to Milwaukee when he's in the games. So Pat Connaughton should be a player to look out for. And then you got your guys like Forbes coming in, shooting threes. He doesn't offer much other than that. And then Teague. You don't know what you're going to get out of Teague. He can guard Cam and Paul, but his better days is behind him. So I like the Bucks tonight. I definitely think the Bucks is going to handle business and still win in Phoenix. You in love with the Suns right now.
I think the Suns is getting some guaranteed. As you can see, the final of the last game, you're watching Chris Paul on your screen doing what champions do, surrounding the court, letting the refs know. Make sure y'all call those calls later for me tomorrow in another game. You know what I'm saying? Real champions know what to do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about putting the ball in the basket, man. That is one element, man. Real winners know how to win, man. There's so many other things that go into winning. And Chris Paul, I think he got not only what it takes to win, but I think he knows what it takes to win. And with a moment like this, your last opportunity, because I believe that this is his last and final opportunity to actually get the ring that he's been coveting for so long. This is an opportunity, one you cannot let pass. Him being a person that's good friends with people like LeBron James, people like Wade, people like them. People are tweeting you. People are messaging you and telling you, yeah, man, you got to do this right now, man, because you don't want to be in history's end in the McDonald commercial as Barkley when Bird and Jordan is in there laughing and having jump shots and they got championship rings and you ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? You don't want history to catch up to you like that. So this is his moment. I think that he's going to take it, even though Lucky got Chris Paul's ankles right here and Shannon Sharp's kufi on the body right here with George. One of the best things George ever did, but he pushed off when he did it anyway. And George is mega trash. So this doesn't even.
Well,
he might
I had to troll. I had to troll.
I get it.
I had to troll you because you were Phoenix. You voting for Phoenix.
I'd rather you just put Chris Paul and Shannon in it and take this bum out of it, though. Take him out. Take George out of this picture and just leave the ankles.
Somebody gonna hit Chris Paul. He get hit at least once a series. So somebody gonna hit Chris Paul within this series with the drop off.
That's all good as long as you get 30 in a W. It doesn't matter. As long as you get 30 in a W, you can do those type of things. You know what I mean? If some people are here for the little highlight, that's cool. I put me on Shaq and the Fool, but at least when the next year starts, beginning of the year, it's called ring ceremony. Okay, thank you. And I'll be getting my shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's about that. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Chris is at. I think Chris.
Well, the cross matches they've been doing, I haven't really been feeling. I don't like the fact they put Tucker on Paul. I don't think that's a good matchup as far as lateral movement. Yes, PJ Tucker is more of a physical specimen. He likes roughing you up, but Paul is one of the top 5 floppers in the league. So you can't just rough him up. It's not happening. It's not one of those situations where you're roughing him up and he's just going to allow it. No, he's going to lunge his body. He's going to flail. He's going to do a lot of stuff to irritate you, and you're going to be in foul trouble, which most of the team does. I mean, like, come on. Giannis had 5. Connaughton had 4. Tucker had 2. So these guys got to understand who they're dealing with. This dude is truly a general on the court. So if you cut the snake by the head, the body won't fall. So it's like, listen, put Holiday on the case, bro. Like, stop playing around and put Holiday on him and let Tucker guard Crowder, because Crowder is doing nothing. Crowder's not doing anything. So on the flip side, they like putting
Tucker the whole time. Was he cooking Tucker that whole time?
Nah, everybody had a piece of that. He really was cooking the bigs. To be honest, it was.
He's really cooking the bigs. Yeah, he was cooking the bigs.
He was cooking the bigs. I think that was the matchup. Chris Paul understands the matchup that he wants in a game, and we talk about it. It's always a game of matchup. It's always you want to get to the weakest link on the court defensively. So whoever it may be, it could be Lopez. You got to think about it like this: if Lopez is on Paul, who's on Ayton? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
PJ Tucker? You can't stop that young boy. It's not one of those like old raggedy big men as this. No, this is a young man. This dude is running up and down the court. If they got up and down the court 50 times, he's running 48 times up and down the court. That's another thing to look for. The endurance of how many times people run up and down the court. That big young man is running up and down the court all the time. Rim running. He's very active. So that pick and roll setting, you putting the big man on him, who's going to be going to 8 and down low? Giannis is, coming off an injury. So that's something to see. Most of his points was on Portis and Lopez. So the coach is going to have to switch it out. If he decides to go small, which I think he's going to go, Connaughton, Tucker, Holiday, Greek Freak, and Middleton, Chris Paul is going to want the pick and roll setting with Connaughton.
Mm-hmm.
That's who he's going to sort after. So it's going to be up to those 3 guys. It's going to be Lopez, Portis or Connaughton that's gonna have to play D on Chris Paul because he's
And he
not gonna allow. Yeah, he's not gonna want to go like 1-on-1 with Holiday. That doesn't make sense. So he's not gonna do it. And on the flip side, it's like
mm-hmm.
Holiday got to find a way to have more consistency with his jump shot. His jump shot's been type off 0 for 4. You went 4 for 14. That's not good, brother. You got to do more. We need more out of Holiday. So I look for him to come out aggressive, get into the hole. The refs is gonna be fucking with Milwaukee tonight, definitely, because what they did the last time was some bullshit. So they gonna be fucking with Milwaukee tonight. Believe that. You're gonna see a different game. They ain't gonna be the niggas going up by 20 and 30. That's not happening. So Milwaukee is gonna be a close game because it started getting ugly in that third quarter. I mean, the first 2 quarters was decent, but they outscored them 35-27 in the third. That really blew the game wide open. So Milwaukee coaching staff just got to figure out a lineup that they're comfortable with to combat Chris Paul pick and roll. And that's the only thing you could really go off of in game 1 because Booker didn't have a crazy night, and I don't think he's going to have crazy nights, period, because you got wing defenders that can guard him.
Mm-hmm.
Like him and Middleton kind of like, I want to say they cancel each other out, but they both were like a jump shooters. So if they hit, they hit, and if they missing, they missing. It is what it is. Now, as far as Giannis go, they don't have nobody that can guard Giannis. But Giannis is his worst enemy because he doesn't have a jump shot. So everything is predicated for him to get in the hole and dunking on you. So that's gonna be the most difficult thing with Giannis. Is like, okay, how can Giannis have a good game? What can he do to help his core to have a good game? I think his baby hook got to be working. A couple up and unders would be great. I mean, getting to the free, getting to the free line, a free throw line wouldn't help. I mean, would help, even though he doesn't shoot it that good. Some tip-ins. I think he got to be active on the boards. He has to want it. He gotta get easy
He needs
points.
his people. You know what's messing him up too is that he needs people to be on the money though, man. Because when you driving in and you picking him and you pushing it inside and you popping it out, you know what I'm saying? People need to be hitting those jump shots. When you hitting those jump shots, that opens up the court more. That gives him a little bit more space to back down and to do little things. They're converging on him. They know that he's they stunting on doubles on him. They're giving him different looks on defense. You know what I'm saying? So for him to really, really do what he's doing with the injury and all that, because you can see it's taking away some of his aggression. It's taking away some elements of his game. Whether he didn't do it the other day or not, he wasn't pushing it as hard. But you see that parts of his elements of his game, because Giannis plays a very big, strong game. And he wasn't playing as big and as strong in that game. Point blank. So I think with other guys coming and making jump shots, will open that up so he could get that ball like on the baseline right there, like a good 10, 15, 12 foot out, and he can start to back out hooks, them little up and unders that you out.
Middleton can't shoot 12 threes. That's not cutting it. You can't shoot 12 threes. Mm-hmm. Like I told you, Middleton shooting 26 times. I don't look for him to shoot that many times. I definitely feel like he's going to be a triple-double watch type guy. But I think he's going to bring it back down. Giannis stuff is going to go up. He's going to be more aggressive. I think Holiday's shot selection is going to be better. And he's going to go up too. He's going to be shot 14 times. I think they all going to be around 20 shots. It's going to be spread around pretty nicely, but the glaring factor is, like you said, the three-point shooting. They shot pretty decent besides Holiday. He went 0 for 4. But everybody else was pretty good. I mean, besides Middleton, 5 for 12. That was kind of like absurd. Like, could be a little better, but it's like 12 threes, bro. It's a lot.
It's a lot. But he was trying to do his thing. I'd rather him try.
He was trying. I mean, the main score, when you look at the points that the Phoenix Suns was getting, okay, you got 20 points combined from Payne and Johnson off the bench. But when you look at the starters, it really was Ayton, Booker, and Paul. One of these guys you gotta negate. Bridges 14 didn't do anything. Crowder has been off for a couple of series, so he's really not giving you anything. So you kind of like playing against three players. You understand? So it's Middleton, Greek, and Holiday. So they three can be better than your three. The rest of the guys, when I look, that's why I feel confident that the Bucks can beat them. Because when you look at, you take the 3-on-3 and you negate that, Lopez is better than Crowder and Bridges. And then you got Portis. And then you got Tucker with his defense. And then you got Connaughton. What people was underrated, Connaughton, I love his tenacity. I think he's one of those players that do the intangible. Next thing you look up, he got 8, 3, 6, 2 steals. He's just one of those guys that's great glue guys you want on your team that you don't have to call no plays for. He's just going to be around the basketball. If his jump shot is working, that's even better. I think he's one of those guys that fit well with the new system. So that's why I'm very confident that the Bucks can beat them. I just feel like if Chris Paul is going to be this aggressive, then that's something I never seen before. So I'm just gauging it like, okay, Chris Paul is normally a very passive guy. He wants to come out and survey the court, get everybody involved. He like, to hell with that. He's shooting 29 times. If he shoots 29 again, then I might have to make a couple changes on what I'm thinking about the Bucks, because aggressive Chris Paul means Phoenix is probably going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that's it. Phoenix is gonna win. That's what I said. If I said into this game, I said, listen, I think that this game is gonna be at least a game 6. Phoenix is gonna win 4-2. That's the maximum situation. Now the most minimum situation is a sweat ginger ale, which is 4-0.
What? Now you out of pocket.
That's the minimum situation. Man. Wait, that's the minimum situation. That's the max min, and I'm gonna give you the middle. The max min, you know what I'm saying? That's the max min. They're either gonna get a 4-6, they're either gonna get a Schweppes ginger ale, but most likely they're gonna get done 4-1. It's gonna be 5. So I think that this series is either gonna be done in 5 or 6. You know what I mean? But like I said, it depends on the start that Phoenix had or 2. Look at this. Crowder, who's one of their better players, had a trash game, bro. Listen to me.
He stayed playing like that, though. You know that.
All right,
so don't act like this is something new. He stayed playing like trees, bro. Come on. I think the last game he played good was
2 series ago.
Yeah, what's the last series that they played? Who did he beat? Oh, the Clippers? He had that one good half.
He had the one little game that he was splashing, he was talking shit. Yes, he had that game. I'm going to take that from him. But his offense, when you're talking about that locker room, you're talking about those players, man. They're looking for him to be one of those fucking people, not a spark off a bench, nigga. They looking for him to be that person that's going to really be scoring out there, bro. He's taking 8 jump shot, all type of shit, made nothing. Come on, dog. In the middle of runs with people making big shots, you're not doing nothing? Come on. And they still pulled that game out. He's going to play a better game than he played last game. Okay? We can bet that.
I think so.
We can bet. So I think that
you only could get better than that. You can't get any worse.
And Milwaukee can't get any worse. And Milwaukee's going to have more to deal with behind that. You see what I'm saying? Who's going to be the players that's going to step up for Milwaukee now? Who's those other players besides Middleton and besides Holiday? Who's that player? Yes, Giannis came in. I think Giannis did more damage than help. If you ask me, he had 20 points. He was out there scrapping a little bit. A lot of the calls wasn't going his way on defense for him. I'm talking about him playing defense. He was getting calls on him. He was trying to catch charges and doing a lot of things, man. I salute him. My hat comes off to him.
I think the timing was off. I wouldn't totally agree with that, but I see where you're coming from. I kind of ran through that in my mind as well. Like,
they put a probably
more than he helped.
I think they could have probably did better, probably without him, son, because other people would have probably more shots and it'd been different.
Yeah, well, when that happens, and when your leader of the team is gone, Holiday has nobody to look towards to say, okay, you get it, you do it. No, he know that he has to do it, so he's more aggressive. So if Greek was out, he wouldn't have shot 14 times. He probably shot 25 times, and Middleton would have probably got upwards to 30 times and 30 plus shots. So yeah, I think they play more aggressive when these guys are out. But we only gonna understand what's really gonna happen is when Chris Paul comes out and do what he does. Because really and truly, Chris Paul is controlling the game, and for right now, the series on his pick and roll decision making. So we only could understand how the game is being played is if Chris come out super aggressive. So
Mm.
we only gonna know that.
We're gonna have to see. We most definitely gonna have to see. But what I will say is that Giannis has to come out, play a better game. I did like the game that he was kind of trying to play. He was trying to play that facilitator role, and he was trying to get his teammates involved. A lot of people weren't making shots that he was passing to them. So it was kind of making it look like he was stinking it up out there more than he was, but his teammates was actually stinking it up more than he was. Um, One, he has to be more aggressive. He has to be more assertive with the basketball. Not coming into the paint and unsure, thinking if you want to score or pass. Really going in paint with that mindset of I'm going to score, but listen, I might just pass this. But you already know what you want to do. I think he needs to be more assertive. I think his time was off.
Yeah, it's definitely
Will Holiday step
that.
up? I think Holiday has to step up. Somebody has to get on Chris Paul, and somebody has to take this matchup and this assignment and say, I'm gonna deal with this. I'm gonna deal with him. I'm gonna deal with this case right here." You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to be specifically on this case, even though I think it's like a village that's gonna really help this. But you got to get on this case. I think that somebody has to get on this. But Chris Paul is such of a savvy and a crafty veteran that he knows how to use those pick and rolls to get the matchups that he wants. Because
He want,
he
yeah, he
yeah,
wants,
hey,
he. Listen, this is a situation as far as like what series that we was watching when Chris Paul kind of was getting the shots that he wanted, but he was just missing. It's one of those things. Is like, yo, you're not gonna stop Chris. It's either he's gonna make it or he's gonna miss it, but he's going to get to his spots. He's going to get his shot. If they keep Lopez in, which I think they might do, so it's the two things they can do: go small, get Connaughton in there, or keep Lopez on Ayton. Now Lopez has been a real rebounder. He only got 6 rebounds, and that's okay. That's around his average of what he does. So they might keep Lopez on Ayton because Ayton cannot have 22 and 19 again. You can't. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of those guys where he can get 20 rebounds again. It's not a problem. So I don't
you
know if
talking
Lopez
about
is gonna.
Are you
Yeah,
mentioning
I'm
eight?
talking about eight.
Okay.
Aiden has 20. He
Then
has
I
he has
can say
22 and
to you,
19.
all right, now let's go back. Let's go back now because you never want me to help you pick your fantasy team and all that. Listen, though, I told you about DeAndre Ayton, right? What I told you is that I feel that he's going to have a good game, not just because of what I think he can do offensively, because
All right.
also when I heard him speak in the media availability, which is the finals media
Hey, tell these niggas what these hoes do. Usually got a friend, and that's a hoe.
This is me featuring me. My new album on YouTube now. Check out the full version, out the music playlist, music videos, and interviews. Check out my podcast. Check everything out. You already know. Subscribe to Uda Block Sports, Inner Sports.
Fuck them both.
Follow everything that we got going on. The live events going down in Brooklyn, 1438 Place. Work, we will be up. Shout out to Mano for the feature. Shout out to Dave East for the feature on my album. Shout out to everybody that worked with me. Cooking up Uda Block.